I can't believe this. Can somebody name me a black church that is at the forefront of the struggle against miseducation? Can somebody in your city, can you name a black church in your city that is the leading fighter? They are out front. They are the vanguard of the fight to improve the schools in your city. Can you name me a black church that is at the forefront of the fight against police genocide and abuse in your city? Can you name me a black church that is at the forefront of the fight against gentrification in your city? Can you name me a black church that is at the forefront of the fight against mass incarceration, miseducation, gentrification, police genocide, or access to wealth? You can't name a mega church in the black community in any city in this country that is at the forefront, not involved, not showing up for meetings, not making a donation. I'm talking about they are leading the fight to save our people, and you giving them $60 billion a year, of which they spend 60% on salaries. We are in trouble, brothers and sisters. Please don't take it personal. Some of y'all getting all in your feelings because your religion is more important than your race. And that's why I love the most honorable Marcus Garvey, because he left religion out of it. You getting all in your feelings because your religion is more important than black people. And that's why I love the most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, who said, up you mighty race, not up you mighty religion. He didn't say up you mighty religion. He said up you mighty race. You care more about your church than all of the black people in America put together. And that's your damn problem. That's your damn problem. We are the only people in this country whose religion is more important than our community. We are the only people in this country whose religion is more important than our community. We are the only people in this country whose religion is more important than our community. And that's why we will lose. The Arab is a Muslim, but he is an Arab first. The European Jew practices our Hebrew faith, but he's an Israeli first. The Anglo-Saxon is a Christian first. He's a Christian, but he's an Anglo-Saxon first. The Chinese are Muslims, the Chinese are Christians, but the Chinese are Chinese first. The Mexicans are Christians, but the Mexicans are Mexicans first. Everybody cares about their community more than their religion, except black people, and that's why we will lose. And that is why we will lose. And that is why I practice the good gospel of Garveyism. That is why revolutionary Pan-African nationalism is the only square that I will ever side on. That is the reason why I have never joined a religious nationalist group, and I'm not interested in joining a religious nationalist group, because we don't need Islam. We don't need Christianity. What we need is black solidarity. We don't need the Bible. We don't need the Quran. What we need is black unity. That's my religion. Black unity. That's my religion. African redemption. That's my religion. Black solidarity. That's what we need. $60 billion a year, and we ain't got nothing. And then you go to church and they want to deify your oppression. You go to church and they want to deify your oppression. You go to church and they want to romanticize your oppression. Soon when you go to church, they want to start quoting from the Bible, making you think God wants you to struggle. They start quoting from the Bible, making you think God wants the police to kill your kids. They start quoting from the Bible, making you think that you're being blessed by your kids being miseducated and your men going to jail. They use those books against you. They brainwash you and hypnotize you into thinking that God put you in this condition. God didn't put you in this condition. You put yourself in it. I said, God didn't put you in this position. You put yourself in it, and God ain't going to get you out. God is not going to get you out. You got to get yourself out of this. And the religions keep on emotionally handicapping our people, and I'm tired of it. They keep on emotionally handicapping our people, and I'm tired of it. I am not against the church. I speak in churches all the time. I am not against the church. I have pastors as friends. But the pastors who I have as friends, they do the Lord's work. And doing the Lord's work is fighting against miseducation. And doing the Lord's work is fighting against police genocide. And doing the Lord's work is fighting against mass incarceration. And doing the Lord's work is fighting for economic justice and fighting for criminal justice. How you getting $60 billion a year and you ain't even got a school, you ain't got a bank, you ain't got a clinic, you ain't got nothing for the people. You don't even hire nobody in the community. And then they say, well, black men don't go to church no more. Black men don't want to go to church no more. Can you blame them? I don't blame any of my brothers for not going to church. If you just got out of jail and you got 2 kids to feed and you got a child support bill, what the hell church going to do for you? You just got out of jail, you got a strike, you got a felony, you got 2 kids, and you got a new child support bill. What is the church going to do to help a black man fresh out of prison with 2 kids and a child support bill? You know what they're going to do? They're going to pray for him, and then they're going to send him a card when he gets locked up. When he go to jail, they will send him a Bible or a Quran. That's what they'll do. When he gets locked up, they will send him a Bible and a Quran to study while he's in jail, but they won't do anything to keep him out of jail, like giving him a job. If I'm wrong, prove it. If I'm wrong, prove it. If I'm wrong, prove it, brothers and sisters. The black church has been the #1 weapon of racism against the black community because it romanticizes your oppression in such a way that it makes you feel like your dysfunction has been divinely imposed on you from above, and that is not the truth. That is not the truth. We are where we are because we choose to stay there. What did Napoleon Bonaparte say? He was a racist and he's no hero of mine, but Napoleon Bonaparte, the Europeans' greatest general, said religion is what keeps poor people from killing the rich. Napoleon Bonaparte, who got his backside kicked in by Toussaint L'Ouverture and Jean-Jacques Dessalines in the Haitian Revolution of 1791. But Napoleon Bonaparte said, religion is what keeps the poor man from killing the rich man. And Karl Marx, and I'm no socialist and I'm no communist. I'm no socialist and I'm no communist. I'm a Pan-Africanist. But Karl Marx said religion is the opiate of the people because it kills your spirit to fight for what you are entitled to. Religion is the opiate of the people because it kills your spirit to fight for what you are entitled to. Brothers and sisters, I will join a church tomorrow if it is a revolutionary church. I will join a masjid tomorrow if it is a revolutionary masjid. I'll go to an African Hebrew congregation if they are progressive. Not the Hebrews who say they're not from Africa. I have nothing to do with them. But we do have African Hebrews out there who recognize Africa as the home of all of them. I can go to a church. I can go to a mosque. I can pray anywhere because every religion is nothing more than a descendant of the traditional African spiritual culture of the Nile Valley. So I ain't got no problem going in your church. I ain't got no problem going in your masjid. I ain't got no problem going into your Hebrew temple because in my Father's house are many mansions. And I don't care what book you pull out, the origin of that book, the source of that book, and the wisdom in that book came from my African ancestors. Let us move on. $2 billion a year on Nike, and Michael Jordan don't even have a black wife. $2 billion a year on Nike, and Michael Jordan don't even have a black wife. Brothers and sisters, I was out shopping earlier today, right? Guess what I saw today, December 30th? When I went to the shopping plaza, there was a state store, right? A state store at the shopping plaza. There was a line of Negroes outside the state store, down the street, and around the corner. I want y'all to hear me. I want y'all to hear me well. I was going to the grocery store, but the state store had a line of Negroes coming outside the store, around the corner, and down the street today. And I said to myself, They're in line for their New Year's Eve celebration alcohol. They're in line for their New Year's Eve celebration alcohol. And we are spending $4 billion a year on alcohol. 4 billion, there you go again. 4 billion on children's cologne, which is made of alcohol, and 4 billion on drinking alcohol. So we clearly have an alcohol problem. We clearly have an alcohol problem. In fact, let me go back here for a minute. Black women spend $151 million on cologne and fragrance for black women, right? Black men spend 61 million. But we spend 4 million on children's cologne and 4 billion on drinking alcohol. 4 billion. $4 billion to get drunk, to kill your kidney and liver. $4 billion to get drunk and kill your kidney and liver. 4 billion. Y'all keep forgetting we are a $2 trillion plus people. Y'all keep forgetting we are a $2 trillion plus people. And guess what? We're only talking about the black people in America who identify as black. If you add in the Afro-Latinos, if you add in the so-called mixed race blacks who don't identify with the rest of us, we spending even more money than this. We're spending even more than what I'm giving you. I'm giving you the numbers for the blacks in the country who identify as black. I'm giving you the numbers for the blacks in the country who identify as black. We ain't even including the black people who hide under the mixed race label and the Latino label. We're not even including them. We're talking 4 billion to kill your liver and kidney, 1 billion on fried food, charcoal, and chicken grease and lard. Brothers and sisters, we're spending $5 billion a year on death. We are spending $5 billion a year on death. Brother, you got to ask somebody else. I never knew children's cologne existed. I did not know children's cologne existed, but it obviously does because we're spending $4 million a year on it. Getting back. We spent $1 billion on fast food, $1 billion on McDonald's, $1 billion on Kentucky Fried Chicken, $1 billion on Popeyes, $1 billion on Checkers, $1 billion on Burger King. $1 billion. You got $1 billion on Burger King, $4 billion on alcohol, another billion on fried food. That's $6 billion on Black death. Lord have mercy. We need the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy. We need the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy. We need the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy. We need the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy. We have to re-educate our people. We have to conduct a psychological revolution, brothers and sisters, because if we do not change the way we think, we're not going to change anything else about us. Are you listening to me? If we do not change the way that we think, we're not going to change anything else about us. You mentioned grits. Well, let me tell you about grits. I told you earlier, a couple months ago when I posted my grits post, I think I said, what, 11 million? I was wrong. Excuse me, I wasn't wrong. That was last year's statistic. Guess how much black people spent on Quaker grits? Not all grits, just the Quaker brand. Just the Quaker brand. Just the Quaker brand for 2020, black people spent $19 million on Quaker grits. I want y'all to let that sink in. I want y'all to let that sink in. I want y'all to let that sink in for a minute. Let me burn an incense. Burn the incense. $19 million a year on Quaker grits, shrimp and grits. Shrimp and grits, nigga. Brothers and sisters, we cannot afford to spend $19 million on grits. What is wrong with us? You know how many hospitals you could build a hospital with $19 million? You know how many FDMGs I can build with $19 million? So yes, brothers, I'm going to say it again. I want your grit money. I want your grit money. I want your grit money. Yes, brothers and sisters, I want your grit money. Yes, I do. Give me $19 million. I'll put FDMGs all over America. Give me $19 million in grit money, and I'll put schools all across this country. Give me $19 million in grit money. 19 million? I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. Guess how much we spend on the fish fry? A Louisiana fish fry, one brand. One brand. Not all of your fish. Not all of your fish. I couldn't find that number yet. Not all of your fish, but just on the Louisiana fish fry brand, we spent $11 million on the Louisiana fish fry. $11 million on the Louisiana fish fry. I'm not done. You know we love our greens, right? And I'm not going to lie. Dr. Umar, I love some greens. I love some greens. Greens with the turkey juice, I love them. I love them. My wife better know how to make greens with the turkey juice. I will not marry a woman who cannot make greens with the turkey juice. My two wives better know, one of them better know how to make the Prince of Pan-Africanism some greens with the turkey juice. But getting back to the message, staying focused on the message. Staying focused on the message, we spent $9.5 million a year on frozen glory greens. Now, what are frozen glory? Is that a real popular brand? The frozen glory greens. Glory greens. Anybody familiar? Anybody familiar with glory greens, the frozen ones? They're called glory. Okay? Well, we're spending $9.5 million just on the glory greens. So I could imagine what we're spending on all the greens we buy from all the brands we buy from. Black folks, we got to get it together. Black folks, we got to get it together. Now, before I give you Dr. Umar's reparations package, Happy New Year's Eve, everybody, by the way. It's 12/28. Happy New Year's Eve. My condolences to everybody in the world who has lost people this year. My condolences to the family of Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, Tatiana Jefferson, Philando Castile, Alton Sterling, Trayvon Martin, all of the ones we lost, brothers and sisters, because their family, their friends are going into another new year without somebody who should be here. I said their family and friends are going into another new year without somebody who should be here. So I want to send condolences to all of them. Although the holidays are supposed to be a happy time, holidays can be a very, very sad time of the year for those of us who has lost people. Okay? Okay? My first girlfriend, Waniqua, rest in paradise. I send condolences to her family and all her friends and my classmates and schoolmates from the Scotland School for Veterans Children. This will be the first year we'll be going in without her and all the people that we lost. You got to send a shout out to them, y'all. The new year ain't happy for everybody. The new year isn't happy for everybody. And that's why we got to get organized. That's why we got to get linked up. That's why everything ain't funny, brothers and sisters. Okay? Now, getting back, before I get into reparations, we need to make some economic pledges for the new year. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Economic New Year pledges. Are y'all ready? Number one, do not go shopping without a list of what you need. And do not buy anything that is not on the list. Okay? This is shoppers rehab. Dr. Umar is talking shoppers rehab. We are discussing shoppers rehab. Always take a list into the store and only buy what is on your list. Because if you don't stick to the list, you're going to become a curiosity shopper. And you remember we talked about curiosity shopping yesterday. And black people love to do curiosity shopping, which is basically spending money on stuff you don't need. Make a list and stick to the list. That's your New Year's resolution number one for economics. New Year's resolution number two for economics. No curiosity shopping. We do not go in stores unless we need something. We do not go in stores unless we need something. The shopping mall is not a vacation resort. Let me say it again. The shopping mall is not a vacation resort. Let me say it one more time. The shopping mall is not a vacation resort. You do not go into the store unless you need something out of it. No curiosity shopping. Number three, don't you worry about that, my brother, because I promise you this. I promise you this. If somebody was to ask your lady if she would rather have you or Dr. Umar, I think we both know the answer to that, don't we? If somebody asked your lady, do you want to stay with me or do you want to go be the queen of the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy in Wilmington, Delaware? I think we both know the answer. Stay in your place, youngin'. Okay, go ask your wife. Would she rather be with your weak beta male ass or whether she be with a prince? We both know the answer to that. Get your weight up, youngin'. Get your weight up. Let's get back on. So number one, make a list of what you need. Don't deviate from it. Number two, no curiosity shopping. The store and the shopping mall are not vacation destinations. Number three, set an amount of time that you're going to spend in the store or mall, and you must walk out as soon as that alarm goes off. Did y'all hear me, brothers and sisters? You going to the King of Prussia Mall? You going to the Mall of America? You going to Saks Fifth Avenue, Bloomingdale's? Okay? Set your clock. I got a list of stuff I need. I'm not curiosity shopping. I got 5 things I got to get. It should take me 30 minutes to get this stuff. I'm going to set the alarm on my cell phone for 30 minutes. As soon as that alarm go off, get your ass out the mall. You know why? Because after that 30 minutes, that means you are curiosity shopping. Set an amount of time. Set a specific amount of time that you are going to spend in the mall or the store. That's right. We got to get disciplined. That's why you're going to put yourself on a timer. We got to get disciplined. That's why you got to put yourself on a timer. Black men, put your wife on a timer. Wifey, you got 60 minutes in that store because that's all it takes you to get what you got to get, baby. 60 minutes. If you are in there beyond 60, I'm coming in and I'm going to pull you out by your blonde weave, okay? Because you should not be spending any more money in there. 60 minutes, my love. Black woman, tell your husband. Same thing. Same thing. Honey, you're going into Foot Locker to get some sneakers for your son, some cleats for football. 20 minutes. If you in there 40 minutes, that means you shopping for yourself. I'm going to come in there and pull you out by your beta male breast or your bald head. And that's what you do, sisters. Stick to the script. I'm going to come in there, husband, and I'm going to pull you out by your beta male breast or your bald head. All right? Husbands, help your wife. Wife, help your husbands. And we will be having a black couples retreat, conscious singles retreat, but we will be having the black couples retreat as well. Because we got to keep the black families together. We got to keep the young black families together. There's nothing prouder than to see a young black couple in their 20s, a young black couples in their 30s, young black couples in their 40s. We got to keep the black couples together. So there will be the conscious couples retreat, which is separate from the conscious singles retreat. Okay? Number 4, stay out of the mall if you can help it. Don't go to the malls unless you absolutely need something from multiple stores. Listen to me, y'all. Economic resolution for Black America. Malls are designed for curiosity shopping. The shopping mall is a trap for curiosity shoppers. The shopping mall is a trap for Black people who think shopping is a vacation. The shopping mall is a trap for people who feel good when they shopping. The purpose of the shopping mall is for you to curiosity shop. You go into the mall to go and get some soap, right? You go into the Rite Aid in the mall. But when you come out the Rite Aid, the lipstick store is over there. The clothing store is over there. The sneaker store is over there. The jewelry store is over there. The weave store is over there. And if you remember when I talked last night, go back and watch the message on my Facebook. All of these Kwanzaa messages are on Facebook. All of these Kwanzaa messages are on Facebook. Dr. Umar Ifatunde. But remember what I said last night. Black people are more influenced by the advertising, the marketing, and the staff, right? And we also shop to feel better. So the mall was designed to exploit your need to feel better. So if you only need to go to a drugstore, don't go to the drugstore in the mall. If you only need to go to the shoe store, don't go to the shoe store in the mall. If you only need to go get some lipstick, don't go to the lipstick store in the mall. Find an isolated store that will help you cut down on your curiosity shopping. New Year's economic resolution. Number 5, do not bring the children when you go shopping if you can help it. Do not bring the children when you go. Let me say it again. Do not bring the children when you go shopping. Because when you bring the children, they're going to want to curiosity shop too. So now you got mama curiosity shopping. Your 16-year-old daughter is curiosity shopping. Your 12-year-old son is curiosity shopping. You went into the mall to get some gloves and a scarf because it was cold outside. You went into the mall to get some gloves and a scarf for everybody in the family because it was cold outside. Because there was a $5 store in the mall, dollar store in the mall. You said we can get a nice hat, nice glove set, $5 store, 5 people in the family, husband, wife, 3 kids, right? 5 times 5 is $25. 5 times 5 is, you went into the mall to get gloves and a hat, but you made a mistake because you brought your 16-year-old daughter and your 12-year-old son. What should have been a 20-minute, $25 experience. What should have been a 20-minute, $25 experience became a $500 3-hour experience. Because your son wanted a video game and your daughter wanted that pocketbook. And then he started talking about he need these new sneakers, and your daughter wanted to go try the clothes on, and then you start going into the weave shop. Do not bring the children when you go shopping, even when you shop for them, if you can help it. If you don't know their size, you got to take them with you. If you don't know their size, you got to take them with you. But if you know their size, leave them kids at home because they are you. They are little you. And if you ain't got no shopping discipline, they ain't got no shopping discipline. And if you like to shop to feel better, they like to shop to feel better. And if you are influenced by the store staff and advertising and marketing, so will be your children. Do not bring the children with you when you shop or you will fail. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. Ask your girlfriend if she like my hairline. I promise you she love it. Ask your lady. Ask her. Ask her. In fact, half of y'all who don't like me because she loves me. Half of y'all who don't like me because that woman next to you loves me. Not that she would ever violate your relationship. Not that I would ever violate your relationship, because I'm not into that. But she absolutely loves me. And she wonder why you can't be more of the man that I am. So take that, hold that, you ugly. Let me stop. Let's stay focused. Econ- Economic resolution for the new year, number 6. Ladies and gentlemen, listen up. Ladies and gentlemen, listen up. Don't go shopping with friends and family who are undisciplined curiosity shoppers. Ladies, I know y'all like to shop as a girlfriend unit. I know the sisters like to get together. The Hotep sisters like to go together. The bougie sisters like to go together. The ratchet sisters like to go together. The ghetto sisters like to go together. Sisters like to shop as a group. The brothers like to shop. The alpha males like to shop together. The beta males like to shop together. The athletes like to shop together. The black professional men like to shop together. The rainbow gang brothers like to shop together, right? So guess what? You cannot go shopping with your homies or your girlfriends if they are curiosity shoppers. You can't do it, brothers and sisters. You cannot do it. If you know your girlfriends don't know how to save their money, you won't save your money. If you know your homies only like to buy the most expensive stuff, you're going to get caught up in their curiosity shopping. Stop going shopping with people who don't know how to shop. Stop going shopping with people who spend too much money. There you go again. You still talking. Ask your wife, would she rather be with you, or would she rather be with the swaggerlicious Pan-Africanist 6'3" in North Philly with the beard, tall, dark, and handsome? Just ask her. Just say, baby, be honest with me. Do you think Dr. Umar is attractive? If you could do it over, would you be up in Delaware with him at that school, or would you still be here with me? Just ask her. Just ask her. I know her answer. I know her answer. No woman is going to choose a beta over an alpha. You going bald? I got all my hair. You missing teeth? I got all mine. You ain't got none of this. I'm fully bearded up north. Dude, you won't win this. You won't win. Let me say something to y'all. Let me listen. There's nothing worse than giving a lecture, and I'm looking out at the audience as I am delivering my oratorical message. And I see a beautiful black sister cheering me on, smiling and supporting me. And right next to that beautiful black sister is an angry, jealous, envious beta male. Brothers and sisters, I deal with it all the time. The sister love me and the man hate me, and the only reason why he there is she want to make sure she don't get in that picture line. They come to the lecture to make sure their lady don't get in the picture line. So he sits through the 3-hour Dr. Umar lecture to make sure his woman leaves right after the lecture because he threatened her and said, you are not taking a picture with that man because he gonna post it up on his Facebook and his Twitter and his Instagram, and my woman is not gonna have Dr. Umar arm around her, and you are not gonna be cheesing with that man, and he like him 5'5", thick in the thighs, and you are curvy, and I'm not gonna let the two of you smile at each other. You jealous coons. You jealous beta male coons. Let's get back. Number 7, go natural and shop cultural. 2021 New Year's resolutions for the African family. Go natural, black women. How many black women are going to go natural for the new year? How many black women listening to me tonight have a appointment tomorrow to cut the weave off, cut the perm off, start over, cut it all off and go low, get an afro, get the twisties? Going natural going to save you a lot of money. And then I want you to shop cultural. And what I mean by that is support black businesses. All of us have to support more black businesses in 2021. If anybody has a link to a black business app, I want it on my phone. Text it to me. If you have a link to black supermarkets or black barbershops, or do we have a national black business app? Does anybody know if we have a national black business app? Does anybody know if we have a national black business app? Because if we do have a national black business app, please text it to me. Because I need an app where I can just text on that app and get a black restaurant, black grocery store, black convenience store, black barbershop, black massage parlor. Any black apps, text them to Dr. Umar. I need all those app developers. You techies out there, send me your apps. Send me your apps. 215-989-9858. Text me the app. 215-989-9858. At the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, we will be having a series of Black economics conferences. At the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, we will be having a series of Black economics conferences. And the last economic resolution of 2021, do not go shopping if you had a bad day, and never go shopping after an argument with your partner. Don't go shopping if you had a bad day. And don't go shopping after you had an argument with your partner. Don't go shopping after you had a bad day. And don't go shopping after you had an argument with your partner. Because if you do that, you're going to spend more money than you needed to spend, because you already shopped to feel better. And now you're feeling extra bad. So you're going to spend extra money. Now you feeling extra bad, you're going to spend extra money. Now you feeling extra bad, you're going to spend extra money. Do not shop when you are depressed. Don't shop when you angry. Don't shop after you had an argument with your partner. Moving on. Moving on. Reparations. I support reparations. We will get reparations. I support reparations, and we will get reparations. But I do not support many of the new opportunists, Facebook leaders, and organizers who claim to be reparations leaders. I do not support them at all. I do support in Cobra, the National Coalition of Blacks for Reparations in America. I do support the National Coalition of Blacks for Reparations in America. I do support the National Coalition of Blacks for Reparations in America. Other than that, I'm not. All these other people popping up talking about reparations and you have to disidentify from Africa and you was already here and you should identify as a slave instead of as an African. I'm not with none of that. Okay? My issue with reparations, I got 3 of them, other than the opportunists who are getting involved in this fight. Number 1, nobody is quantifying the psychological cost of the Ma'afa. Very little reparations conversation has included the psychological cost of reparations, of slavery, of colonization, brothers and sisters. Instagram, I'm going to turn the volume off. Tell me if you can still hear me. Instagram, give me a thumb. Can you still hear me on Instagram? Can you still hear me on Instagram? Give me a thumb up. Can you hear me? Instagram, can you hear me? Instagram, can you hear me? Instagram, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Instagram? Instagram, can you hear me? Okay, y'all can hear me. Good. All right. I had to turn the ringer off because let me tell you what's going on right now. The haters, and you know I have many, the haters are calling in trying to disrupt the message. So I put all my calls on silence and I turned the phone off. And with the new iPhone update, when the call comes in, it doesn't interrupt your live stream. So I turned the volume off. So if they want to keep calling, they can, but it won't interrupt. So for all those jealous, envious Dr. Umar coons, You lose tonight, niggas. You lose. So let us stay focused, brothers and sisters. Let us stay focused. So number one, I take issue with the fact that very little attention is being paid to the psychological consequences of slavery. Brothers and sisters, the psychological cost of slavery is more than any other aspect. Let me say it again. The psychological damage done to us as a race is more expensive to the European power structure than any other aspect of the Ma'afa, because you can't put a lid on psychological damage. Psychological damage is intergenerational and perpetual. Psychological damage is intergenerational and perpetual. Psychological damage is intergenerational and perpetual. So as a result of that, we need the black psychologists, including the prince of black psychology, to come together and quantify, although you really can't, the psychological cost of the Ma'afa. So my first issue is we keep on leaving out the psychological cost of slavery. Second issue, there was one slavery. There was one slavery. We all came from one place, Africa, and we were distributed around the world. Therefore, there should be one reparations fight. Black America, Black Europe, Black Caribbean, Central and South America, Black Africa, Black Europe should be organized under one reparations banner, because we have one common enemy, and that is global white supremacy. As long as the Caribbean have their own reparations, which is separate from the African American reparations, separate from the South American reparations, separate from the Central American reparations, separate from the Australian reparations, separate from the English reparations, separate from the African reparations, we're going to lose. We are going to lose. The European will play divide and conquer, separate and rule, as he has done for most of our history, and none of us will get what we are entitled to. We are one people. We are one family, one race, one people, one family. And the reparations movement should be one, and I will never support a reparations movement that doesn't have a global Pan-African focus. I will never support a reparations movement that doesn't have a global Pan-African focus. Number three, the next problem I had with reparations, I have heard very little conversation about the participation of the Arab and the complicity of the Chinese in our slavery and colonization. I'm going to say it again. I have heard very little conversation about the participation of the Arab and the complicity of the Chinese in the enslavement of African people and the colonization of Africa. The Arab was selling black people before the white man. The Arab was selling black people before the white man. But every time we talk about reparations, nobody wants to say nothing about the Arabs. And the reason why nobody wants to say nothing about the Arabs, and I know this is going to piss my Muslim brothers off, and I love my Muslim brothers to death. You understand? Islam will always have a place in my heart. I was raised Muslim, but I'm going to keep it a buck. The reason why the Arabs are not being included in the conversation on reparations is because the African American Sunni Muslims feel like it's their job to be the legal defense attorneys for the Arabs. I'm going to say it again. The African American Sunni Orthodox Muslims feel like it's your job to be the legal defense attorney for the entire Arab nation. That's the damn problem. The African American Muslims are defending and protecting the Arabs from their culpability and accountability in the colonization and enslavement of Africa. And the Arabs are still enslaving our brothers and sisters in East Africa right now. I'm speaking facts, and I don't care who don't like it. There's an African proverb that says, the teller of truth has no friends, and I'm not looking for none. I got a million ancestors walking with me. I got Ida B. Wells. I got Harriet Tubman. I got Fannie Lou Hamer. I got Mary Church Terrell. I got Anna Julia Cooper. I got Dedan Kamathi, Patrice Lumumba, Julius Nyerere, Shaka Zulu, Menelik II, His Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie, Walter Rodney, Bob Marley, Garvey, Malcolm King, Medgar Hampton. I don't need you. I got spirit riding with the prince. Next issue I have with slavery is the fact that we are not discussing, brothers and sisters, the theft of African inventions and African lands. I'm going to say it again. We are not discussing the theft of African inventions and African lands. Most of what the European uses was created out of the mind of the African. And everything that we invented in slavery, automatically the credit went to the slave master because we were not even considered people, brothers and sisters. We were not even considered people. So they have to give us back ownership of all of our intellectual property, all of our intellectual property and all of the land that our ancestors were chased off. I'm going to say it again. Our ancestors were robbed of tens of thousands of acres of American soil. The KKK ran them off, lynched them off, killed them off, scared them off. I'm going to say it again. Tens of thousands of acres were robbed from black people from the end of slavery through Reconstruction, up to Jim Crow and the pre-civil rights era. They scared us off the land. They ran us off the land. They threatened us off the land. They lynched us off the land. And they outright stole thousands of acres of black people's land. So if we're going to talk about reparations, you had better give us our ancestors' land back. With that being said, I want to talk about 7 critical demands on Dr. Umar's reparation list. With that being said, I want to talk about 7 critical demands on Dr. Umar's reparations list. Are you ready? These are in no order. In no order. Reparations package. Demand. Oh, excuse me. Need some water. Ancestors is with me. Look at these haters. They still calling. Sorry, haters. Can't stop nothing tonight. Sorry, haters. Sorry, haters. You can't get... Look at them, y'all. They call. Y'all should see my phone. The haters are calling my phone back to back, trying to sabotage the call, brothers and sisters. So let us focus. Number 1, these are in no order. They are equally important. Black music. Part of the reparations agreement. All black music, past and present, must become the exclusive property of Black America. That means I want Michael Jackson's publishing, Prince, Whitney Houston, Sam Cooke, all the 1960s groups that got robbed out of their music. We own all the music. Jimi Hendrix, all black music is returned to Black America. Why is this important, brothers and sisters? All the old school rappers, all black music is returned to black people. Def Jam, Arista, Universal, all black music is returned to black people. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why we got to control the music. You want to know why we need the music as part of reparations? Why is black music so important to the reparations fight? I'm going to tell you why. America, let me tell you how much music is worth. Listen to this. By 2030, 9 years from now, according to the research, by 2030, which is 9 years from now, hip hop alone, this ain't R&B, this ain't black jazz, this ain't black neo soul, hip hop alone, by 2030, will generate every year $38 billion off of live music, 12 billion off of publishing, 80 billion off of recorded songs. I'm gonna say it again. Hip hop alone by 2030 will be worth every year 38 billion live music, 12 billion publishing, 80 billion in recorded songs. That is 8 and 4, 120, 130. You're looking at almost $140 billion every year off the music. We must take back the music. Any reparations plan that does not include music is going to be a waste. 1 second, Instagram. 1 second. All right, we good. Did y'all hear me? Any reparations package that does not conclude the return of all black masters and the control of all black publishing is a reparations package we don't need. Because if you study the history of blacks in music from James Brown to Ma Rainey to all those original black groups, Little Richard, they were ripped off and exploited. All of our early black musicians, the jazz musicians, the soul musicians, they were ripped off and exploited. So if we want reparations from America, music must be included in the package. Number 2, black inventions. Everything we invented must come back to us permanently without any expiration date for our monopoly of it. We invented the lights. Lewis Latimer improved on Edison with the filament bulb. The lights, we invented the cell phone, we invented the helicopter. Oh yes, we invented the internet, the refrigerated truck, the baby wagon. Everything black people invented must be returned. The patent is returned. It cannot expire. Anybody who wants to use anything that we invented, all the way down to George Washington Carver's peanut products, must pay a fee to black America. Y'all not hearing me tonight. Y'all not hearing me tonight, brothers and sisters. If you agreeing with me right now, I want a heart from the queens and a fist from the kings. If you agreeing with me right now, I need to know I'm not talking to myself. I want a heart from the queens and a fist from the kings if you agreeing with me right now. We want our music back. We want our land back. We want our inventions back. And number 3, I already spoke on that, and that's the confiscated land. Return all stolen land. You know what that means, brothers and sisters? We need a research team. We need a research team. We need a team of black folks who know real estate and know history and know the law to go all through America and research the property deeds of black people who believe their family was robbed of that land. Who wants to head up the research team? Who wants to head up the American African Land Reclamation Research Team? We need excellent researchers, excellent documentarians, excellent serious brothers and sisters who will go through the South and do the research on the land and find out who stole what from who and when. Found out who stole what from who and when. Find out who stole what from whose grandmother, whose grandfather, and when, and let's get it back. Y'all not hearing me right now. Y'all not hearing me right now. Hip hop music is the most influential music in the world. We must control it if we want to be free. And you know what? Once we take over the gangster rap, we gonna tell them brothers, ain't no more disrespect for black women no more. Ain't no more profanity. Ain't no more anti-African messages. Ain't no more light-skin supremacy, dark-skin supremacy. Ain't no more videos filled with nothing but light-skinned women and white girls. Black women come in every color. Black women come in every complexion. So why when I look at these new rap videos, everybody light skin or white? Once we control the music, we can take control of the content. Once we control our own music, we can then, brothers and sisters, take control of the content. Let me go to the next one. Let me go to the next one. There are 10 states. There are 10 states that account for 58% of the entire black population. There are 10 states that account for 50% of the entire black population. These states are, we are on reparations demand number 4. We are on reparations demand number 4. Let me ask my sisters a question. Do y'all find my intelligence attractive? Ladies, are intelligent men attractive? Do you find my intellectual energy attractive? And my second question, ladies, can you make greens with the turkey juice? I need the greens with the turkey. I'm kidding. Reparations demand number 4. Reparations demand number 4. Reparations demand number 4. See, I need a sister that when I come home from Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, working 12 hours, 16 hours every day, I could just come home. She had her food ready, looking all good and thick and curvy, nice back massage. We talk about the day. Then we go upstairs and make a little baby papa. What if I can get twins and have 2 baby papas? What if I can get 2 for 1? Any ladies out there can guarantee me a set of twin boys? Any ladies out there can guarantee me a set of twin boys? If you can guarantee me a boy or a set of twin boys, or it could be a boy and a girl. It could be a boy alone. It could be 2 boys. It could be a boy and a girl. But there must be at least 1 Prince Ifa Tunde coming out of your heaven, my queen. Let's refocus. Consciousness over cookies, politics over punani. Let's refocus. Consciousness over the cookies, politics over the punani. Reparations demand number 4. Reparations demand number 4. Reparations demand number 4. There are 10 states in America that account for 58% of black people. Let me say it again. I need y'all to pay attention and follow me on this. 58% of the 50 million blacks, 58% of the 50 million blacks are congregated in 10 states. They are Texas, Georgia, Florida, New York, North Carolina, Virginia, Louisiana, Maryland, California, and Illinois. I repeat, Texas, Georgia, Florida, New York, North Carolina, Virginia, Louisiana, Maryland, California, and Illinois accounts for 58% of all blacks. Every state I named is on the water. Texas is on the water. Georgia's on the eastern seaboard. Florida's on the eastern seaboard. New York is on the eastern seaboard. Carolina's on the eastern seaboard. Virginia's on the eastern seaboard. Louisiana is on the water, the Gulf of Mexico or the Gulf of whatever that is, but Texas and Louisiana are on the water. Maryland is on the eastern seaboard. California is on the western seaboard, and Illinois has the Great Lakes. So all 10 of the predominantly black states are on the water. So here's what I've decided. Here's what I've decided. We must be given, listen to me, brothers and sisters. America is a leading exporter of timber, coal, bottled water, renewable energy, and crude oil. Listen to me. America's natural resources, timber, coal, bottled water. America has a lot of good waters. renewable energy using wind, air, and water, renewable energy using wind, air, and water, crude oil. America exports $200 billion a year in crude oil. America exports $200 billion a year in crude oil. So here's what I propose. Black people must be given 50% of the entire market of America's timber, America's coal, America's bottled water, America's renewable energy, and America's crude oil perpetually forever. 50% of all the revenue from those 6 resources of this country comes to Black America perpetually. Timber, coal, bottled water, renewable energy, and crude oil. We get 50% forever. Not only that, of those 10 states where we congregate, where we dominate, 50%, 58% of us are in those 10 states that border the water. So guess what? Guess what they got to do for the 10 states that contain the most Black people? The largest port in that state, the largest port in Texas, the largest seaport in Georgia, the largest seaport in Florida, the largest seaport in New York, the largest seaport in Carolina, the largest seaport in Virginia, the largest seaport in Louisiana, the largest seaport in Maryland, the largest seaport in Cali, and the largest seaport in Illinois must be owned by us. The U.S. government must give us, as part of the reparation settlement, the largest seaport in the 10 largest Black states. And they also owe us 50% of all of the exports on timber, coal, bottled water, renewable energy, and crude oil. Nina Hines, you said, did I think this out? Of course I did, sister. Because your liberation and your child's liberation and your grandchild's liberation and your great-grandchild's liberation and your great-great-grandchild's liberation and your great-great-great-grandchild's liberation are that important to me. I thought it out. Yes, I did, sister. I take my responsibilities to the race very seriously. I'm not done. Let's continue with the Dr. Umar Reparation.